Hi there everyone, and welcome to another episode of PvP Talk. I'm sorry guys, we're still playing with the same build that I've been showcasing forever, except with one little exception. I replaced the Lothric Knight long spear with a Witch's Locks, so it's a little bit different, but yeah, as you can see here, my character's face is kind of fucked up, and that's actually the thing that led me to even recording this episode in the first place. So yeah, I took this character to the NG Plus because I fucked up my face and it was my last respec. So yeah, I have to run to Rosaria to get my face fixed because now my face looks like my character had an overdose of blueberry pie or something. So yeah, that's about that. But yeah, I got to the High Wall of Lothric and I saw that there were a lot of signs on the ground in there. So I decided that, I could take some duels. And I started recording the duels, and yeah, this is the aftermath of that. So instead of invasions on this episode, we're having duels. So that's a nice little balance in there. Cannot always do those random invasions, gotta enjoy some proper dueling at times as well. But yeah, I changed the Lothric Knight long spear to the Witch's Locks. So, and I think the Witch's Locks is actually a lot better choice for a Pyromancer build than the Lothric Knight long spear. Even though I freaking love the look of that weapon, I want to experiment with a little bit different weapons and such. So, and this first guy we fight is actually a Pyromancer himself. At least somewhat. He has some dark spells in there and a katana. But yeah, sorry about not showcasing a new build. I'm still working on my strength build. I've been so freaking lazy with it. I should be more active when creating builds, but I just get so bored so easily of creating new builds, and then I just go to PvP and waste my time in that. This guy is actually really interesting. He has this kind of a caveman thing going on in here, and I really appreciate that. He's very loyal to his build in here. I mean, this huge club in there, and wooden plank shield, and no armor at all, except those freaking rags, so yeah, I can appreciate that. This is a very long fight actually as well. We're both being very patient here. I do a couple of fuck-ups here and there. I cannot see his baits too well, and I kind of go in there and get fucked a bit. But yeah, prepare for a pretty long fight. But yeah, if you missed the build in the beginning of the episode, it's soul level 100, pyro, 30 int, 30 faith, and chaos scimitar and chaos, no chaos, Witch's Locks cannot be infused. So yeah, Witch's Locks and chaos scimitar. So if you wonder why I'm doing so crappy damage, it's because it's a pyro build, and yeah, the split damage kinda sucks in this game, so no need to wonder that. The new build that I'm going to create is going to be a strength build with mace and probably a broadsword. I have a couple of combo-ish things that I have found out with that setup, but I will showcase that build later on another PvP Talk episode or some other kind of showcase. But yeah, that build is coming. It's almost done. I need to still get my rings for it. I hope that some helpful individual can help me with that. So yeah. Getting those cute PvP rings is kind of a pain in the ass because you have to go for NG plus 2, I think, to get all of them. So I really hope that I got some of my friends to help me with that. But yeah, the Witch's Locks, the weapon art, it can actually deal some pretty proper damage compared to anything else that I can put out in there with this setup. So it's really nice addition to this build, and I really like the look of it. The weapon art is amazing looking when it like lights the whip on fire, and yeah, I really dig the look of it. But yeah, as I said, this fight has been very patient from both of us. Neither of us really want to get in. too bravely, so it will take some time. But I try to use my pyro, use my whip's range to get some damage in there, but it doesn't really work. This guy has his dodge timings down, and he doesn't go for any hasty moves really. I can't really remember how the fight actually ended. Here he actually baited me in, and I was like, God damn it, how did I go into that bait? that is the oldest bait in the book. You just whiff the one R1, and then when the enemy comes in, hit again. And I actually went for it. I think I get him into a little bit of a roll catch loop in the end here. He's trying to get that last damage chip down with the throwing knives. Yeah, I get some roll catches in here. And thank goodness for the fire surge. Thank goodness for the fire surge, because I think that's the thing I'm gonna use for finishing this guy off. Yeah, that is a great spell for finishing chip damage off from your opponent. Fire surge is amazing for that stuff, so yeah, I really like that spell for that particular reason. Okay, here's another big weapon user. I do some mistakes, if I remember correctly, in this fight at first, but as I talked in the previous episode of PvP Talk, patience. Patience really gets you far in this game, especially if you're fighting against a big weapon user, because big weapon users, while they can deal a lot of damage, they will have difficulties of finishing that last hit if they don't have any backup weapon. Usually they tend to use throwing knives like this guy and the previous guy use. So that's a good tactic actually for big weapon users to have some of that fast supplement items for attacking in there. And here, oh my god, so bad mistakes in a row, and I'm nearly dead here. So I'm forced to take a little bit more reactive playstyle, a little bit more cautious playstyle, which happens pretty often with this build, I must say, because I deal so low damage and it's not that good build, so I really need to turn on that cautious mode, which I don't enjoy that much, to be honest. I like to be aggressive, I like to do flashy shit, I like to use all the aspects of my build for my advantage, but sometimes I'm forced to kind of take on the passive approach and just go in whenever I feel I have the safest spot to deal some damage, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. And I don't know if you noticed on my build, but I have the Sun Princess ring on, and I have the Divine Nipple Shield. So yeah, the Nipple Shield has health regen, and my ring has a health regen. So here I'm getting some HP back that I lost while I'm avoiding his hits and waiting for opportunities to attack myself. And I must say it's not the most interesting thing to watch, but yeah, sometimes you are forced into this kind of situation. And I kind of feel this playstyle that I'm playing here at the moment is kind of annoying to fight, especially with a slow weapon. But yeah, that's something you just have to do sometimes. Especially if you fuck up so badly in the beginning of the fight like I did in there. Here he actually gets so close that he stuns me with the weapon, but he doesn't deal any damage. Because the stun splash of those big weapons have been increased a lot from the earlier games. And here, I got him down. Patience, patience. Here we have a Silver Knight with a Dark Sword. I think that's a Dark Sword. Sorry, my preview is a little bit low quality here. Yeah, this was a Dark Sword. This fight actually, I remember now, has a pretty interesting ending. Yeah, I saw him trying to go for parries a little bit in there, so I will take my parry counter approach again. I just go for dead angles when I go for regular R1s and pull out the whip every now and then. Just pyro, bait him to come in and punish him. And in the end of this fight, you can really see that he has really gotten fed up with my playstyle, pretty much. That's a shame that the weapon art to R2 isn't actually a roll catch. It looks like it could be, but I think I need to delay the R2 just a teeny tiny bit after the weapon art for it to be a roll catcher. But it definitely has the range for it. Here he is clearly like running out of options what to do. He doesn't really know how to get in. Because I space myself properly to get my own hits in, but not to get hit by his. So he's having a little bit of problems on countering that. But at least he's not spamming, because that's what I was actually waiting for him to do with the dark sword. I'm sorry, but that is just something a lot of people actually do with the dark sword. But he's not spamming, he's going for single hits or 2 hits, but no 3 hits or anything. So props for that for this guy. So I think, yeah, I'm out of FP there. That's why my witch's locks didn't light on fire. But here he decides to run away. He's like, fuck this guy, I'm not fighting this shit. And he just takes off in there. Oh god, poor guy. Poor guy. Okay, this... As I have mentioned before, in this series I include every single match. But... yeah, even the laggiest ones. This guy is lagging like a motherfucker, and I just... yeah, you get these like super laggy guys every now and then, but hey, that's life. That's life. I have promised to include every match, and I will, even though it might be this laggy, but it happens, it happens. It happens to everyone. And there, I go down. Yeah, this is a mage build that I'm going to fight next. I don't know why he was waiting for so long. Probably checking if I would attack him while he's buffing. And yeah, the homing crystal soul mass is just... I don't know if people usually count that as a buff, but I usually always attack people who cast that, because I don't think it is a buff. It's mostly like an offensive spell, and gives you very good benefit on the start of the fight, especially now that it's a little bit stronger in the Dark Souls 3 than it has been before, because it's harder to roll on reaction. If there's lag at all, it usually just hits your face. So I usually always just attack if I see people casting that, even though there's a little bit of arguments over that, if that's a buff or not, and whether you should attack while people are buffing, but it's just I don't know. I don't know what the usual stand on that subject is, but I will attack it once I see it. Okay, here's the guy with the dual daggers. He's interesting stuff going on in there, but unfortunately this is also a little bit laggy fight. I think this is not even like that bad, it's just that latency is very high. So I think he's very, very far away from me geographically, so that's something that happens. I have this kind of same stuff against some of like American players sometimes. And it's a bummer, because some of very interesting players are from America, and there's just you can fight this kind of latency if you just take like the right attitude on it, and you can like compensate for the latency that there is. You cannot go too much for the parries. I think I tried once in this fight actually. Actually, talking about the parries, sorry. Motorcycle. Yeah, I go for a couple of parries during this session. I usually don't go for a lot of parries when dueling, because good players usually take matters to counter parries, but I still go for a couple of ones, but I don't land a single parry on this session. And that is really weird for me, because usually my parry landing success is very high. I don't go for a lot of parries, but I still kind of fucking fail them, so I don't know what it is. Also, the parry guide, if someone is wondering where the hell is the parry guide, it's still coming, guys. Don't worry, I told you that it will take some time to put together, but the parry guide is coming, and I will hope that it will be the best one out there. There are some, I think, already out there, but I think when I get my parry guide done, it will be very... how could I put this? I don't know the word in English, but it will be a good guide, I hope. I will not feature any frame data in there, because I don't have the actual frame data, but I will give you the timings, and I will give you a good presentation on when to parry against which weapons and with what weapon parrying tools you're using. So yeah, I hope it will be a good guide. I hope you guys like it, for those who are waiting for it, but I will need some time to put it together. That's all. But it will come. It is coming. It will be the next episode of PvP mechanics that I'm going to put out. I think the last episode was like somewhere around 3 weeks ago. I think so. It's been a while since I have done that sort of video, but I have not forgotten about it. And there, as you can see, the firebomb looked laggy as fuck, but hey, that happens when there's a lot of latency. It just cannot be helped. Then we fight this guy. This guy is actually pretty interesting. He has his stuff down pretty well, and using the Exile curved greatsword, which is pretty dangerous weapon. It has a good hyper armor. It has one of those weapon arts that can just destroy you, outright destroy you. So yeah, I'm very cautious here, trying to pick my moments, try to figure out what this guy is gonna do. And he has a pretty like the right playstyle. He uses a lot of stuff. And there, that weapon art. Oof. God damn it, that damage. And he didn't even hit all the hits in the combo there. And he has a buckler, so I try to be careful about not going into his lane. I cannot really remember. I think this guy gets me actually down, if I remember correctly. Look at that damage. Holy shit. 151 per attack. To put into perspective how weak my damage is, Karthus curved sword on quality build would do double the damage that I'm doing with my... And there, yeah, he poisons... he first panic rolls, but then he decides not to panic roll and beats me with the hyper armor. Well done, well done. GG, that was a good fight. Good fight indeed. But yeah, Karthus curved sword on a 40-40 quality build, or... I don't know if it's a hollow build? Quality or hollow? I think it's quality actually. Does double the damage per swing. And it has exactly the same speed, but better range. So, yeah, if I would fight any Karthus users, it would be a really tough matchup. But yeah, that's to put into perspective how goddamn strong the Karthus curved sword is. That weapon is absolutely insane. Like, I think it's the best weapon in the game. I think it's the best one. There are some weapons that could challenge it, but I think overall Karthus curved sword might be the best. And this motherfucker right here, it just invades during a duel here and tries to get us down. Actually, this guy invaded me before I started recording, so I was like, fucking hell, this time, you dude, you're going down. He actually managed to kill me that time when he invaded. So here he kills my freaking dueling partner. And this time he's not getting away with it. Getting away with it, I mean. Goddamn, my tongue is crazy today again. It usually is. With these long commentaries, my English tends to get a little bit wild, so excuse me for that. But yeah, this is a really boring fight. He uses the same attack, I use the same attack. Just and it goes down with its own natural flow. Oh yeah, something I could mention, like I uploaded an episode, well, not an episode, but a video where this weird thing happened with the invader, where I couldn't deal damage or couldn't like stagger him at all. I don't know if it was a hacker or some glitch or something, but something came up on that video that I would really want to mention. There seems to be some kind of thing that people think that PC version is full of hackers. Just reading the comments of the video, I got the impression of that a lot of people think that the PC version is just little with hackers, and there's a lot of hackers everywhere, and you get constantly faced with hackers when doing PvP. Not correct at all. Not correct at all. Like, I have met one hacker maybe before that guy on the video, maybe, and I'm not even sure if he was a hacker or was it a glitch or not. So, and I have several hundred hours on PC version, so definitely not literal with hackers. It's complete bullshit. I don't know who started this kind of rumors about PC version being full of hackers. I know there has been some, but definitely not a lot of them. Definitely not. And if you are like skipping the PC version because of the hackers, please don't. Please don't. This is still the very best version to play this game. Definitely. The 60 FPS does so much for how good this game feels to play. And this is coming from someone who has played the both versions. Usually people who diss the PC version don't have the PC version. They haven't bought the both versions, so they usually don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But if you are skipping the PC version because of hackers, I really would recommend you to reconsider that, because there are not a lot of them. I have met like, and this guy was actually, this fight was good. God damn it, I got derailed in there. But yeah, I got down in that fight. That was a good fight. And this one is as well. A lot of good big weapon users here today. Sorry about that background noise, it's the freaking motorcycles on the road. But yeah, this guy is using, I think that's a Zweihander and a Avalyn. I used to use a lot of Avalyn on Dark Souls 1, but I kind of skipped on that on Dark Souls 2 because on the vanilla version the Avalyn was goddamn broken tier, and after that I kind of forgot to pick it up again, so I didn't use too much Avalyn on Dark Souls 2, but on Dark Souls 1 it was one of my favorite weapons. And it seems to be pretty strong on Dark Souls 3, so I might give it a shot on some other build. It doesn't fit this build too well, but yeah. But definitely like good fights here with these big weapon users. I just wish sometimes that I could deal some more damage. So this, actually, when you think about it, I would have probably win all of these matches, almost all of these matches, if I would have a little bit more damage. But that is kind of a pointless discussion to start, and kind of sounds like making excuses, because I have chosen the build I play with, so it's kind of my fault. And there he get me down. GG man, GG, that was a good fight. Good fight indeed. But yeah, it kind of sounds like making excuses, and I really don't want to make excuses for my losses. I have picked my build, I have picked it myself, and I carry the consequences of that, so. But sometimes I cannot help but think, if I would have a little bit better damage on my weapons, what the outcome of these fights would have potentially been. But yeah, it's kind of pointless to think about this on retrospect, but it kind of crosses my mind sometimes. But hopefully the strength build that I'm working on is actually better for duels as well, because while the Pyromancer build I have here, it's fine for random invasions, it works fine, because you have the element of surprise and everything, and you can fool around with the Pyromancers and stuff. But with the duels, it's usually just not enough damage to cut it, against really good players, so yeah. But I'm brave enough to say that even if I don't win all these matches, I can still give a proper challenge, even though my damage is low. And that's enough for me. If it's a good fight and I can give a proper challenge to my opponents, it's more than enough that I want from a fight. This guy is using the Mirror Great Sword, and he has this kind of style that he tries to bait me in by whiffing the hits, but he's doing a little bit too much of it and kind of makes it too obvious, so I gotta catch up on that. And I have dealt a lot of hits to him, but the damage difference is kinda high in here. But I'm doing okay job. He's looking like a freaking Joker or something. Here he tries to cheese me with the bow a little bit, which I'm prepared for. Usually people have something for finishing off the fights, and I do too. I have the Fire Surge, which has worked very well for me. I really like that for finishing off the duels. And here I do something stupidly brave and pay for it. I tried to go in and parry him, and he gets me down. GG, GG, well fought. I have this weird habit actually, which I just realized about myself. I tend to do very brave and stupid shit in the very end of the matches, usually. And I don't even know why that is, because that's usually when you should be the most cautious. But in the end of the matches, I usually do the most stupid things that I do in the fight. So I don't know where that comes from, but that's something I need to work on improving about my matches, so yeah. This guy, I get a lot of good roll catches in there on him because he panics a little bit, starts panic rolling. And while I say that you shouldn't panic roll the curved swords, it's really hard not to. Like, even though I know how to roll catch people, I still have difficulties of not panic rolling against it, because there is always the risk that they will hit twice, and then you just roll away and you have taken the 2 hits already. And if you go to just stand there and wait for a minute, you still miss the timing for the roll, because the curved swords are just so fucking fast that it's very hard to reaction roll them. So that makes them really, really dangerous when it comes to like roll catches. And that is exactly the reason why weapons like Karthus Curved Sword, Karthus Curved Sword is so goddamn dangerous, because the damage is so high and it's a curved sword. And curved swords have really, really nasty pressure. If they get in, you can get like completely blown up. Like completely blown up. And that has happened to me a lot against fighting a lady. And actually Scott Chand actually like destroyed me on my latest fight club as well on Karthus. Although I didn't have Ember on and stuff, so I just died on a couple of hits, but still, like, you can definitely just blow up against the Karthus, and you should be very, very, very careful whenever I'm fighting that weapon. I have fought Karthus a lot, because LED has used it since like day 1, and yeah, I have gotten my fair share of that shit cake, so I can really, really judge that. That is a dangerous weapon, a really dangerous weapon. And definitely up there in probably top 3 weapons in the game at the moment. I don't know, it might get some kind of nerf at some point, but at the moment it's one of the best weapons in the game. If you're looking for effective curved sword, that is. But I think like just about every curved sword in the game is pretty good, just because of the roll catch properties and the sheer speed, and you can easily dead angle with those, and yeah, the speed is just great. In this session I actually did some ring swapping as well. I usually don't practice it too much, but I'm open to do things. Some of you guys who have been following me from Dark Souls 1 times, you know that I've never been really a ring swapper type of person. I really don't I didn't like it too much, but mainly because of the visuals. Because I don't like the menu popping up on my screen when I fight, and it's kind of a strange habit that I have as well. I didn't like that the open menus while I fight. I don't know why that was, but right now I'm experimenting with that. I'm probably going for Hornet swaps real soon as well. So yeah, this this was a really nice backstab. If that was intentional, wow, that was really flashy backstab in there. I ran in and hit him, and then he got a backstab on me. I think that was a accidental one, but still really cool looking. And I think like 1000 damage of that backstab, so that was really not a good way to start this fight, that's for sure. Also, I think this is the last fight of this session. Holy shit, I've been talking so much random bullshit during this episode. Sorry. I kinda tend to get crazy with the commentary when I don't plan it at all beforehand, so yeah, sorry. I envy those guys who are actually able to keep on point when doing long commentaries, like, who could I say as an example? Probably Martyr's Brigade. Martyr's Brigade is an amazing commentator. Dropout Dragon, Scott Chand, all of these guys are they have really solid commentaries in my opinion. They stay on point very well, but I'm just gonna ramble and just my commentary goes all around the place, and top that with my amazing English. You get something very interesting, I guess. Sorry about this, but I'm trying to improve my commentary, and that's why I'm doing these episodes, so I can improve my English and improve my commentary, and just share some random thoughts about the fights and all the other stuff. So it serves its purpose, and it's nice to do this kind of random and unplanned commentaries, because I have kind of everything on my channel, and this is just part of that spectrum. But here, look at this jumping attack in the end of the fight. Why Juutas, you fucking dumbass? Why do you go for those dangerous things? But here, I took off the fire surge and finish off the fight. And that was the last fight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching once again, and take care. Let's try to play on the strength build next time.